Hi there, I'm JD, and in this video we're looking at how to avoid obstacles and to make tight turns while driving a trailer around in My RV Skills. A lot of the things I suggest will probably apply to driving a trailer in real life as well, but you'll have to use your own judgment on that because the real world is definitely more complicated than this game. To start with, let's look at getting out of a tight parking spot. What I've got on the screen is a truck and trailer parked next to another truck and trailer, but there are a lot of different situations that would have similar challenges. Our main obstacle to watch on this tight turn is right here, the bumper on the truck next to us. We'll need to make room for our right trailer tires as we head out to the right, so we'll start by going up and out to the left to give us more room. However, we also have to watch the curb on our left too, so that will limit how wide we can turn. Now, as we continue down this relatively narrow aisle, you'll have to watch the spacing for both sides of our trailer, as I'm showing here. Now we've come to our first turn. The point of view from the driver's seat is like this, which means we can't see the whole turn, but we can see that it's curving off to the left so far that we can't see the end. That tells us it might be pretty long and tight. We can also see how much space we have to work with here at the beginning. So we'll do our best to stay to the very far edge of the turn like this as we go around the turn. That'll help us if it does become a full 180-degree turn. Also, as we go around the turn, watch the wheels of the truck compared to those of the trailer. You'll see there's quite a gap between the two. So as we go around the turn, we want to leave space for the trailer wheels to make the turn because they'll actually follow a path that's well inside the path of the tow vehicle's tires. So we'll try to stay the far edge of the turn with the tow vehicle, and that should give our trailer enough room to make the turn. Here are the truck tires near the edge of the turn. And then let me also draw the trailer tires. Big difference, right? Another tight turn is the right angle turn. Even with a decent amount of space, it can be difficult to navigate well because the trailer tires will follow a path even closer to the inside of the turn. We'll watch the curb at the start and into the turn, as those are our main obstacles for our right trailer tires. And then coming out of this turn, we'll watch this curb and our right trailer tires to make sure we don't hit that curb. And we'll just pretend this arrow isn't here for demonstration purposes. Of course, we'll have to watch out for oncoming traffic potentially, so we'll have to get back to the right. We just have to make sure our trailer gets around the turn without hitting the curb first. To do that, of course, we'll have to go to the left or the far side here, so that our trailer tires will follow a line that's inside that curb. We may also have to watch out for jackknifing. As you can see, we're pretty angled here as we finish off this turn. In real life, this is something you'd have to know how to see in your mirror, the distance between the trailer and the back of the truck or whatever tow vehicle you have. There we have it. Made that turn, ready to pull out onto the road. In this next part, we're going to look at avoiding obstacles as we drive around a campground in this case. But as I'm doing this, feel free to leave a comment if you see something I missed or have a trick that you've used, either in a game like this or in real life, to keep your trailer safe as you're driving around. Love to hear from you, but now let's look at some obstacles. So as we come up to this tight little path here, we've got that curb on the right coming up, and of course the left edge of the path as well. From the driver's seat, we can only see past the edge of these obstacles in front of us, so we don't know too much about what's coming up ahead, but we can see that it curves a little to our right. As we exit the turn, we'll be watching this space right here. Of course, trying to make sure our right trailer tires have room away from the curb. It looks like we have plenty of room in this case. Coming up on this next path, we have curbs on both sides, as well as we can see the straight path going past it. And the space we have is just a bit wider than our vehicle. So we want to stay to the far edge, as usual, watching the curb on the way in and on the way out if we need to continue turning. Though at this point we can't tell what's ahead. Even with our long trailer, we had enough room to get around those curbs. And it keeps going pretty straight, so we didn't have to worry too much about turning. Watch out for that curb as we continue, but this is essentially a straight path here. We have more curbs popping up on the right and left. But basically we're going straight, so we can almost consider this to be one straight path. So we'll just watch out for the oncoming curbs. And of course there's empty space kind of behind where we can see, depending on what obstacles are there. And so we might have to consider what might be coming out in those spaces. Of course, if this is just grass on either side, we can see over the grass. But sometimes it's hard to tell. Sometimes there are bushes, sometimes there are trees. So that'll be something to keep in mind, depending on the situation. Here we come to a fork in the road, and hopefully if this were a real situation, there'd be a nice sign telling us which way to go or what's in each direction. I just happen to know that the right of our truck will be the way we want to go in this particular instance. The left goes over to more campsites. So as we've been doing with these other curves, watch the curb coming up and stay to the left. But then we'll want to curve into the middle of this path because it looks like it goes straight for a while, and we'll want to make sure that we have space on both sides. So this spot's a little interesting. We have that curb over there, this curb, and so it kind of creates a right-hand turn for us. You can sort of imagine this kind of turn. We don't know what's past the bottom edge of the screen there, but we want to stay to the outside of the turn, just like all the other turns, and hope for the best, basically. Thankfully, it's not too long of a turn, so we can straighten out here pretty shortly. Had it been much longer, we might have had some trouble there with this long trailer. Now there's this curb on the left here, and then this curb on the right, and it's a little unclear. Is this going to go straight, kind of along the left edge of this curb, or is it going to curve off to the right? Or is it even going to curve off to the left? Or is it just going to go straight? So we'll kind of treat this like a straight path for now, staying to the left as we enter and then moving towards the center and see what happens. And it looks like it's kind of staying straight for us. Then we'll watch those curbs and our trailer tires as we continue down this sort of virtual straight path or street until we see what happens at the end. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope this has given you a little more insight into how to approach those tight turns and obstacles in your path. If you have other tips or suggestions you think people will want to know about, please leave a comment so other viewers can benefit from your knowledge. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.